Welcome back to the Y.E.S Longevity Podcast, where we give you insight on how to get fit, feel younger, live better. Today we have a special guest, Stacey G. She's been with us for about a little over a year now, and she's going to talk about her journey. But first, I have a couple of housekeeping things. Number one, we have our tapas cooking party coming up on, let me see, May 19th at New John's Bistro up in Winsted, Connecticut. It's on a Sunday afternoon. Going to go through 6 new appetizers. So if anybody's interested in joining us, let us know. You can sign up online. You give us a call, send us an email, Facebook message, whatever it might be. But it looks like it's going to be a great time. And then second, we are starting our summer sizzler. So if you want to get that body ready for the summer, you want to get rid of some fat, you want to fit in all of last year's clothes, maybe last year's clothes even be baggy. That's our Summer Sizzler program. It starts June 1st. You'll see ads all out on Facebook and some direct mail pieces and things like that. So on Facebook and pardon me, our website, yesfitnessct.com. So if you look for more information, give us a ring. It's a great way to get your body ready and set for the summer. Take off some of the fat that you may gain over Memorial Day weekend. That's the first weekend of hot dogs, hamburgers, and potato salad.
That's the good stuff.
That's the good stuff. That's why we have it at the beginning of the summer on one weekend. So it's a beautiful day out today. So I really appreciate Stacey coming in early before her class to sit and chat with us a little bit. Stacey takes class. How many times a week do you take class?
Between 3 to 4 times a week.
Do you get here that often?
Yeah.
So you do strength usually on Tuesday and Thursdays?
I try to come Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I try to fit in a Tuesday and Thursday, but I've been trying to run on those days as well. So mixing it up a little bit.
So Monday, strength, get strong. Wednesday, you do get lean.
Yep. And
then Friday, you get strong
again.
Okay, so that's perfect. And then sometimes you try to fit something else in there.
Yep.
Okay. So to look forward to. Maybe on one of these Tuesdays and Thursdays, once I get this stretch class up and running a little bit better, a little more smooth, I might plug it into one of those days because it'd be a nice change for what you're doing. And I taught it for the first time this morning.
How'd it go?
And I thought it went well. It took a little time because it's completely different than anyone has ever done before. So actually our warm-up took about 25 minutes, and that'll squish down a little bit over time. And we only focused on 3 different areas of the body. We focused on the glenohumeral joint, that's the shoulder. We focused a little on the thoracic mobility, upper back, and the hips. And I remember the first time that I had done this type of exercise, I was super sore the next day. So I kind of took it easy on him a little bit today, but I need to get a little bit used to how much time I can fit things in and stuff like that. So I'll probably get it in on a Tuesday and Thursday night, maybe start in June.
That'd be fun.
So it's going to be a whole lot of fun. So Stacey's been with us a little over a year now, I think, something like that.
Yeah, it was a year in January.
A year in January. So it's not that long ago. If you can remember, where you're at in life before you came to Y.E.S Fitness.
Where I was before was running a lot, and that was pretty much it. I have a couple pieces of weight type equipment at home, but I really wasn't sure what to do with it. But I had been running for about 10 years prior to coming here, and it was mainly to try to lose some weight and get some exercise in my schedule. But after running, I figured, well, I'll lose some weight, maybe I'll get a little faster. Oh, look, I'm getting faster now. I can run some races, and then everything plateaued. The weight plateaued, the speed plateaued, the endurance plateaued. It basically came to a grinding halt. And my knees started hurting. So coming here, I figured, let me try to see, I need to do something different, clearly. And I need to incorporate some other, either strength or other exercise type things. And I didn't know what I was doing. So why not come to people who know what you're supposed to be doing and try to get some advice? Well,
I appreciate that confidence in us. One thing that you will definitely find in runners is you're going to hit a plateau in your speed over time. And then what's actually going to probably decline a little bit over time. And then with the fat loss thing, when you run, we know that you lose muscle and fat. So that's going to stop your fat loss, like you said, dead in its tracks at some point in time. So you need to do something different, you need to shake something up. And I looked back at your health status questionnaire, and your knee was bothering you a little bit, which is not unusual when people just go out and run 3 or 4 times a week, and they start to get overuse injuries because they're doing the same thing over and over and over again. And if I told you to go out and jump in place on one leg 1,500 times. Don't you think that's crazy?
It's a little crazy.
It's a little crazy, right? It is
Yeah.
crazy, but that's actually what you're doing when you run a mile.
Mm-hmm.
1,500 times you're landing and jumping on that one individual leg.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think of it like that, you start to think, well, wow, is this really good to do 3 or 4 times a week? So you obviously came on board with us, and now tell me about your knee.
So knees are feeling better.
Mm-hmm.
They're not bothering me anymore,
Great.
and I feel stronger, to be honest. I just did a 10K this past weekend.
Wow.
Rainy Sunday. It was the Burlington and Collinsville Classic. Still a big crowd showed up. You'd be amazed. And I shaved 3.5 minutes off of my time.
Wow.
3.5 minutes from last year's time. I finished in 57 minutes and 23 seconds compared to 1 hour and 1 minute from last year.
Wow. And I know I wasn't in town Sunday. I had the pleasure of being in Florida for a few days. But I heard some people didn't do the race because it was raining out so hard. It was just a disgusting day.
Yeah, there were over 900 participants registered from what I heard, and there were about 650 that actually showed up.
Wow, congratulations.
So, thank you.
That's
I was very
awesome.
pleased. I was apparently just flying, listening to no music, no run keeper annoying time in my ear, and I just went with how my body felt. And I was amazed at how quickly I was going. I kept looking at the clocks along the mile markers and was shocked, but it felt great.
How'd you feel on Monday?
Not bad. Not bad at all. A little sore maybe, but today, back to normal.
I can tell you that if I was to run a 10K, my legs would be sore the next day. I don't run like that, but I absolutely know my legs would be sore the next day.
Well, I've been training. I've been practicing. I did many runs throughout the weeks, and that's why I was running Tuesdays and Thursdays and then coming here the other days just to try to mix it up and increase the distance as the day went on. And I was able to do the 6.2 in no time. Do
you feel like what would you say that you've gained from the strength training classes that you do?
I feel muscle mass for sure, which I know I didn't have before. I can not only just feel stronger running, but I can pick up heavier things like it's nothing. Things that I would have struggled with before, I'm doing a lot easier. Balance has definitely helped too. We do a lot of balance things here. We do a lot of jumping, a lot of standing on one leg and things like that. That's definitely helped. But I think overall it's a combination of the strength and the endurance that we get from the metabolic and everything. That has definitely helped. The intervals have helped. The sprints that we did as a finisher last month, everybody hated. I loved it. And I think that was part of the reasons why I was going a little bit faster. I had been doing a decent amount of sprinting, and that certainly helped.
Yeah, so to go back to what you just said 1 second ago, you mentioned that you feel stronger and you feel more muscle. Would you say that you feel more muscle, and there's always that myth that when you lift weights, and I watch you guys, I know you guys lift heavy, you lift hard, you work hard in there. Now that you've gained muscle mass, are your clothes fitting tighter?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah?
Yep.
What are you thinking, your legs
a
little bit?
Definitely legs. Yep, I've noticed the pants are fitting a little tighter. But it's in certain areas. It's tighter in the thighs, but in the waist, it's much looser. Yeah. So you can certainly tell there's muscle gain and there's still some fat loss in areas. Yeah.
We haven't put you on the scale in a while, so I don't.
Yeah, I haven't been on the scale in a while. Not since the winter, the challenge that you had over the winter. Yeah.
Were you in? Did you do New Year challenge?
No, I didn't do that one. It was the the holiday hold'em.
Holiday hold'em.
Sorry, I forgot the name. Holiday hold'em.
Holiday hold'em.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's right. We did take some scale weights back in holiday hold'em. But your pants feel looser up around your waist.
Yes.
How about in your upper body? Because when you came in, you said your upper body was weak and you wanted to develop some upper body strength. Yep. Has that happened? Do you think that you've
I feel stronger. I definitely feel stronger. Yeah, just lifting heavy things around the house now really isn't that big of a deal. Before I'd be struggling, or carrying a heavy box of something up and down the stairs would be a challenge at times. Now it's not that big of a deal. I can, grocery bags, pulling them out of the car, bringing them into the house. I can carry more now. It's little things like that I certainly notice.
So, if I was to go back to your original goals, you wanted to tone up a little bit, gain some upper body strength. You wanted to improve your running, and you wanted to be injury-free. And those 3 things have happened.
Yeah, they have. So now I guess I need to set new goals, right?
You need to set new goals because obviously, sometimes when I sit down with these things to talk to people, I go back and look what they did in S, but I've never really talked to them about have we really. Sometimes I haven't talked to them, especially in group exercise. Have we actually achieved what you wanted to achieve when you came in the door? I just talked to some people whenever we ask somebody to come on board. People that are happy with our services, obviously, I'm not going to put somebody on that's not happy, but I don't really know of anybody who's not happy. And I don't know if we. Sometimes I don't know if we actually achieved the goals that we looked at. Started with. Definitely, we know that in our semi-private training because we review those every single time we change our workouts. So every 4 to 6 weeks, we're reviewing goals. We might be talking about stuff once a week if we're really trying to lose some fat. But group exercise, a lot of that accountability is left in your hands. But I'm glad we've been able to do that for you.
Yep. Definitely.
So, what would you say is your most hated exercise?
Most hated exercise. When it comes to strength, I would say maybe stuff with ladders. They're just, it seems sometimes, depending on the motion, it's kind of tough on the ankles and the knees, especially if we do it for a minute straight.
Oh, okay.
Things like that. And then we do 6 different things, so it's 6 minutes of step, and I'm trying to get faster, so I'm trying to step faster. Those sorts of things, I think they tend to bother me after a little while. Not in terms of pain, but just exhaustion. I would say. You definitely feel it. Your calves feel it. And a lot of other people seem to complain about those too.
They do, and we do some ladder drills sometimes. We don't do them all the time, but we do put them in there. And sometimes when we put them in there, we do it for 5 minutes straight. Yeah. And that can be a long time.
Those are the ones that
even if we're changing up the exercises and the foot patterns, certainly that can be a little tedious.
Yep. Or sometimes the footwork is kind of tough to get down to.
Yeah.
Just based on what we're supposed to be doing until you get the muscle memory going. So if you're not here all that often, you might trip up on yourself, but when you get the muscle memory going, it's not horrible. But the steps, it's almost like watching a dance sequence. You have to watch what everyone else is doing around you to make sure you don't trip over your own feet.
Years ago, this is probably 15 years ago, we thought about putting some ladder drills into our classes. And although we're a little older clientele, because we are 40 plus, we're not old. And I said, nah, we don't really need to do that stuff. I don't think we're going to get any benefit out of it. And then we started to put them into our group exercise programming. And we'd already done it in our semi-private, but we put it to group exercise. And I just noticed how many people in the beginning struggled with that. They struggle with their balance. They struggle with the mind, being able to tell the lower body what to do and what the foot pattern is. And I've seen over the years a tremendous improvement in everyone, even if it's beginning of the month to the end of the month, being able to do those foot patterns. Because it's really important for our minds to have to work like that. As we age a little bit, and it's important for our balance.
Yes.
And balance takes a while to see. Like you're not going to come through the door and do 2 or 3 balance exercises and say, "Oh wow, I'm better at balance now," because you're not going home and standing on one foot. You're going to notice it when you go to just like trip on the curb a little bit, or you're going up the stairs and your foot slips some, or you might slip on ice a little bit, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Wow, my balance was better." I was able to do that. So balance is a tricky thing, and I'm glad you've been able to see some improvement in that because it's something that we don't realize that we don't have until it's challenged. And then we're like, wow, I can't do this anymore. When we do during a strategy session, we do our screening, functional move screening, and we ask people to stand on a 2x6 flat. So there's on a 6-inch board, 6-inch board. And you would say, 6 inches. Your foot's not 6 inches wide, so your whole foot can stand on that board. And they have to be parallel feet. People can't do it, and that's when they first realize that, hey, you know what? My balance stinks now. I really need to work on this. And that's when they start to realize that, I'm losing my balance. Yep. So, what's your favorite exercise?
Oh, favorite. You mean like an individual exercise?
Yeah, just an individual exercise maybe, or maybe a class. Just maybe I'll put it in next month's workout.
Okay. I like deadlifting, to be honest. Yeah. I was up to almost an 80-pound kettlebell, and that shocked me because I didn't think I could ever lift 80 pounds of anything ever. Now, obviously, I'm not lifting that over my head. I'm not even holding it up to my chest, but just to be able to properly, have the right form, not hurt myself, and be able to lift that was kind of an accomplishment for me. I was actually pretty proud.
That's
so those
nice.
fun deadlifting
That's cool.
things like that, whether they're sandbags or kettlebells or whatever equipment that we have, is actually it's neat. I like to see how strong, you know, and people. I'm not the only one. There's those heavy kettlebells in there. People are lifting them, and it's pretty neat to see everybody do that.
Yeah. One thing that we're going to try to start to do probably in the fall, because we're coming into the summer, and in the summer we're going to do a thing called Run to Boston. So it's going to be based off of a caloric expenditure, how many calories we think it would take if you ran from here to Boston.
Okay.
It's just a way that people pay attention while we're going through the summer, because the summer, you know, can just interrupt everything. You can just destroy
there's
everything.
Vacations,
stuff like that, and we're still taking a look at so that's a 2-month thing. Okay. Run to Boston. I think it's going to be from July and August, and then we'll do our 100 workout challenge, where you have to get 100 workouts in from July 1st to December 31st. But another thing we're thinking about doing that you might like is like some tactical series challenge, where you come in and you try to do a PR on certain exercises, like a deadlift or maybe a squat or a bench or something like that, just to give people something goal, something to strive for, other than just coming to the gym. So you come into the gym now and you're feeling great and you're moving and stuff like that. You're running better, but like, what's next? And for some people, that might not be the right thing. They may not be interested to see how strong they are, but it'll be a way for people to see how much strength that they've developed from the beginning of a month maybe to the end of a month. That would be neat. So we're probably going to start doing that, kicking off in September, something like that. Okay.
Yeah, because it would be neat to kind of keep track. There are times where I find like I come in and we're doing whatever exercise, and I stand in front of the weight rack and I'm trying to figure out what was I doing this with. Was it 25 pounds? Was it 30 pounds? 20? And you don't always remember, because I'm not sitting there with a piece of paper keeping track of the weights that I was doing for such and such exercise. So for people who want to keep track and maybe really build and move on and try to do something heavier, that would be a neat challenge.
Yeah, we're going to try to implement something like that. Obviously, on the semi-private side, we keep track of that every time. We keep track of every single set, exactly what you're doing, and we progressively overload. But in the group side, it's always a little bit of a challenge for that, and some of that's left on your person to try to figure out. And to understand that, you need to progressively overload. You need to try to always make it just a little bit harder. If you don't make something harder, your body's not going to get better. It's not going to change. You know that from running. That I need to make it a little bit harder some way, somehow. Because if I just did the same thing over and over again, you hit a wall. And that's what happened to you. So that's something we're probably going to implement in the fall, coming down the road. And we're going to try something new in the fall. Metabolic makeover and stuff like that. So the fall's going to be interesting.
Oh, you got a lot of stuff planned.
Yeah, we always got something going on around here. So it keeps it interesting.
It does, yeah.
So what is it that you like most about coming to Y.E.S Fitness?
About the people. I enjoy it. It's the staff obviously are great, but there's the clientele that come in. We cheer each other on. Some days you come in, it seems as though no matter what mood you're in, when you come in, you leave feeling great. Just physically, emotionally, you've been able to talk to people. Sometimes you've had a bad day. You can chat with people before you actually start working out. Or sometimes you're just having a tough time, and it's good to talk to people. Or sometimes you're having a great day, and you want to share it, and you want to hear other people's days, their experiences. So just the side chat is nice. But then you see people, struggle sometimes in there. Sometimes they're having a tough time. So you just cheer each other on. Yeah. You really do. And it's the whole support mechanism is just fantastic. And people that I don't even know all that well, they're all, hey, you can do this. And again, I turn around and say, you got this. Don't worry about it. They're like, I can't lift that. Yes, you can.
I really think that gets lost in the whole going to the gym, because we're not really a gym.
No.
We're a coaching center. We're trying to work with you. We're trying to
I keep trying to change my vocabulary, because when I'm at work, when I'm at home, I'm going to the gym, and I'm like, no, I'm really not. And I've been a member of those big box gyms before. And you're left to your own devices, and you don't know if you're doing things correctly. You don't know if you've got proper form. You could be injuring yourself for all you know. That doesn't happen here, because you're not a gym. We're being coached, truly.
I think the camaraderie is what really makes or breaks a place, because you can go to smaller facilities, but if you're not getting that type of culture where people talk to each other and have fun. And when someone new comes in the room, everybody's trying to help them out and let them know that, hey, you're not alone. We're at the same level. I think it's kind of special what we do here and what goes on here. So
absolutely.
I know there's quite a few people that get together outside of here that didn't know each other before this, and they have fun together. I think we're going to probably have we are having a little thing now. Are you going to go to Alan Chandler's birthday over at the Ninja Gym in Torrington?
I haven't heard about that, to be honest.
That's because it wasn't like an official thing we were doing.
Okay.
But actually this Saturday, from 3 to 4, Alan Chandler is hosting his own birthday party. And it's the new gym, the new Ninja Gym over Torrington.
Okay.
Not to put a plug in for Torrington, but it should be pretty cool. So we're just going to go there. We're just going to see what kind of ninjas we're like for an hour. You're welcome to come. It's free. You can bring your husband or whatever. There's a sign up. I'll make sure the guys talk about it today.
Okay.
What was I thinking about that? I don't remember.
Connecting to
Just camaraderie. Yeah, it's connecting to camaraderie and stuff like that. And over the summer, we're going to have probably a little a hike up in the hills here. I don't remember exactly where, and then we're going to head back to one of the clients' houses on the lake. So
here in town.
It's got to be close by. I don't know which lake it is, but we'll let everybody know. So we're just going to have a big picnic. Everybody brings some stuff after the hike. We want to see how well we do with the hike, because I think it's kind of an aggressive hike, and then get together and jump in the water and stuff like that. I don't know what it is.
I know a few hikes around here, so we're looking for something challenging.
You know who's in charge of that? Amy Brennan has talked to me about it. So I'll have to let you know. I never know the name of the hikes. I just go on them.
There's a ton of blue trails around here, and some are pretty challenging. So yeah.
Do you run the woods?
I don't run the woods. I like to hike the woods, but I've never actually tried running. I'm just afraid I'm going to trip over something and face plant somewhere, and that's not going to be pretty. Plus, some of the trails, you literally have to put your hands into crevices in the rocks and kind of hoist yourself up. Yeah. It's fine. You can walk around it as well. But at the same time, if you want a challenge, there's a little bit of rock climbing, ledge climbing going on in some of those trails.
I am not a trail runner.
Okay.
I ran just at Sessions Woods. A couple of years ago, I'm running Sessions Woods, and I'm running with a client, and another client's coming in the other direction, and I caught one of the roots from a tree.
Oh no!
When barreling ass, head over heel, and I just happened to just roll right and get right back up and start running again. And this is nuts. And then, like last fall, it shut me down for a while, probably a month, because when I was running, I stepped on a stone that was underneath. I didn't see it. It just twisted my ankle.
It's very easy to.
I said, forget this.
I feel you really have to watch what you're doing, and you need appropriate footwear.
Yeah.
You can't be doing trail running in regular sneakers. It's just not enough protection for what's out there. So
I enjoy it.
I stick to the pavement and the trail down by the river and things like that.
I'm going to have to start training like Stacey, because last fall at the Burlington, what do we call it?
It's the Burlington 5K. The
Burlington 5K, Stacey kicked my butt. Seriously ran by me. I could not. I was behind her, like stalking her for a while.
You were probably within arm's reach for a while.
And then, I don't know, she kicked it into another gear and just blew me away.
It was another wet, rainy race. I'm cursed with wet, rainy races.
I hated running that, but
it was chilly.
The challenge was out there, so just so you know, I'm already in training for this year.
Okay. I just hope it's not as chilly and wet as last year.
If it's not, I'm not running.
Hey, you had several Y.E.S Fitness members that were all pretty much like in a clump together.
We did. Who else? I mean, Alan was right there. Alan Chandler was right there with us.
He was right behind. Yep. Kathy Coyle, right next to me.
Kathy Coyle.
The two of us were talking for part of it.
Yeah, Kathy
Side by side.
She's a hot little runner too.
Oh yeah, and she just flew. She was doing great.
I can't do those long runs, those 5Ks. I was actually thinking of participating in the Connecticut Games. I don't know what they're called. They're in New Britain. Not this Saturday, next Saturday. And I was going to commit to running a 50-yard dash.
Okay.
Because I'm still pretty fast at 50 yards. And I took a look at the time of the guy who won last year.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who won last year won in 7.19 seconds.
Wow.
And I just did, at the end of one of my workouts, I just did a very unscientific, no blocks for my feet, just took off and ran at 8.32, 8.23. So that's only a second I need to take off. My time, I can do that with just by having blocks and a little bit of training, because most of my training has been for 400 meters, 200, 400 meters, not 50 yards. So 50 meters. But I already have a commitment for that Saturday, so I can't do it this year. But I'm seriously going to do it next year. I want to try to get to the Senior Olympics.
That'd be cool.
I figure since I'm at the low end of the 60s, I can catch those guys that are like 60 and 69. So there's a strategy to it.
Yeah, there is a little strategy to it.
If I don't get it done in the next couple of years, I go wait till I'm 70. So I'm going to try to get it done in the next couple of years. But yeah, I'm much better at the short distance. These legs were not built for 5K.
Or 10.
Or 10K. You know, way back.
You don't want to do the 60K ultra marathon that they do in the summer that goes through, you know, the Blue Blaze trails here.
No
well, there's a
way.
30K. Actually, this year I've been talking to the
30K.
contact about that, and there is now an 8K, 5-mile version going through the trails
Really?
in town. Yep. I was talking to the organizer of the ultra marathon. It doesn't sound so bad. There might be some hills, but it's trails. I'd have to practice. I'm not fit for trails just yet. No.
I like a flat on the track surface. Go for it. So I was kind of fast when I was young. Way back when, did a 4.640s. That's pretty quick back in those days. So I think I'm gonna catch this guy next year.
Nice. There you go. You let us know when you'll have a crew down there.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know when I'm training. This is very spur of the moment. I thought about this about 3 weeks ago. I talked to my mentor about it. We talked about my training program, and then I took a look at when the date really was, and I said, I already have a commitment for that day, so I can't do it. But it gives me a year now to train, because training will be completely different. Everything will be very short and explosive, because when you think about in a sprint, you're taking yourself, it's like a deadlift, from something that's a dead stop and making it go as fast as it can, or like a dead weight, just trying to explode that up off the ground. So there'll be some very different training where there'll be like maybe even like deadlifting, like with the hex bar deadlift. So I'll explode up and then actually drop the weight. Now explode up and drop the weight, so that there's no what we call eccentric contraction. That's when the muscle lengthens under load, or when we put the load down. It'll help with soreness. I won't get as sore, but I'll be able to come much more explosive. And I'll start to do some heavy sled work. We don't usually push a sled in here. We don't have any large sleds. But I'll start to do heavy sled. So it's completely different training and stuff like that. So it'll give me a year to track these guys down. So maybe when I'm 61, I can kick some serious butt. But I'll let you guys know. So everybody's out there. Get different goals.
Yes.
Got to train differently. I mean, that's the key to what we're trying to accomplish here. You know, you've been able to accomplish what you want to do, even on our group exercise. You chose the right amount of classes and the way to do stuff like that, and how hard you work. And other people choose different goals and want to lose fat. So we got to take a look at what they're eating a little bit more than someone who's just trying to perform better at what they're doing. So a lot of different stuff goes on when we're coaching people. So
I'm hoping to do some more interval type workouts too, either here or on my own, just doing some running, because to me that's definitely helped with the speed. Kind of bursting, but then being able to give myself a little bit of a break. I burst again into another run, and I feel like I got a second wind almost. And I did that technique for this 10K, and that definitely helped.
Are you just doing straight time? Do you use heart rate based?
It's been heart rate based.
Heart rate based. I was going to say, you need to just do some heart rate based and pick different distances to burst. Like sometimes burst, so you have your kick at the end, whatever your kick is, 200 meters, 400 meters, but then make your burst a little bit longer, and just do it heart rate based. And then, let it come back to about 60% where you can catch your breath a little bit, but you have to stop and then take off again. I was going to say do some heart rate. Awesome job.
Definitely.
Nice.
I think that's
do some hills. Just do some specific hills, like hill training, where you're just going up the hill and then you're jogging back down.
There's no shortage of those around here.
There's no shortage of hills.
Our street is a nasty hill that just kind of winds and goes up, and I've been running up that. So I don't have to go far to do hills. So
kick my training even more now. Damn it! I don't know how to catch you. Yeah,
it's fun. I like this competitive spirit. That's the thing. We're just all pushing each other. We're all challenging each other, and that's great. it keeps life interesting, and you keep including new things, and either whether it's in the workouts or just new challenges. You come up with something new, and I always look at it and think, can I do this? Should I do this? And I don't know if you've noticed, but oftentimes I sign up for these things. not the New Year, New You, but we had just gotten off the holiday hold'em, and I think I can try that.
I think Summer Sizzle will be good because it's going to get people refocused again, because we haven't done anything since New Year, New You Challenge, and that's kind of been over for a couple of weeks now.
Right.
And we did a Fit in 42 in the middle there, so everybody's kind of like looking for the next scene. So you got a couple of weeks. Okay. A couple of weeks it'll kick off again, and then it'll be the summer. July and August. So that's why we thought we would just do something for those people with heart rate monitors. It'll be, you'll be able to your heart rate monitor in strength. So that'd be interesting for change.
Too. Okay.
So we're going to see your total caloric expenditure for the 2 months.
Okay.
In whether you're doing our Get Lean class where we do some metabolic work, or our Get Strong class where we do some strength training. And that'll be interesting. So any workout that happens, you'll be able to tally up those calories.
Nice.
It'll be very interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting participants, because it's not just about getting to the gym a certain amount of times. It's going to be trying to take advantage of you working hard, stuff like that. Yeah. Because we do, believe it or not, we're going to come up with something else too. Actually, we have another thing we're going to start. Maybe you want to join this club. I think we're going to call it the Badass Baby Boomers, because there's the image out there that we're old people and then we don't work hard. We're like an old people's gym and we don't work hard. But we are an old people gym, but we kick ass. We work hard when we're in here. So we're going to change that image a little bit in the next few months. So you'll see how that's coming along. So I guess we do have a lot of
You guys are constantly doing stuff here, which it's what keeps it interesting. Yeah. But at the same time, boy, you're busy.
I don't know if I can keep up with it all. I don't know if I can keep up with it all. So that's pretty cool. That's all good stuff. So
definitely.
I'm surprised your buddy Laura's not here.
Yeah, where is she?
Well, she took stretch this morning. She did come in this morning. And I got those hips. She goes, can I work out later today? I said, if you feel like it. I'm not sure you're going to want to feel like it, but it's completely different. So it's okay to do those 2 workouts in the same day. It's much, much different. We take the joint through a full pain-free range of motion, which you don't normally do, and you really concentrate and go very slow in getting that full range of whatever you're doing. And then we try to build some strength at the end range. So we really lock you down, and you only be able to build strength in the last few degrees of that joints, that articulations, range of motion. So it's much different. I'm going to be interested to see how they give me some feedback tomorrow from it. So I don't know if we're going to see her tonight or not. It'll be cool if we do. It'll be cool if we do, because I'm interested to get some feedback from her. Feedback, because we've wanted to do this class for a little while now, so now we have a nice spot to slide it in. I think we'll slide it in tonight as well. And then, so for anybody who's interested or thinking about or on the fence about coming on board Y.E.S Fitness or giving us a try, what would you tell them to do?
Oh, definitely try it. To me, I think you've got nothing to lose and a heck of a lot to gain, to be honest. And whoever is new comes on board, you've got a great group, almost like a second family, that'll bring you right in and help you out right along the way. So it really is risk-free, because we guarantee our services. So if you come on board with us for 30 days and you don't like what's going on with us, I'm going to give you your money back. So I don't know what you have to lose. Right.
Just come in and give us a try for 30 days. If you don't like it, I'll give you your money back and say thanks for the opportunity. So there's no reason why not to try us out. Cool. So I really appreciate you sharing your story with us today.
Thank you for having me.
I hate the fact that you kicked my butt in a race, and I'm going to work hard to not let that happen again. But a couple other people kicked my butt too, so I'm going to work on that. But I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. I'm glad we've been able to get you to some goals. And it looks like you're pushing yourself along to some other bigger and better things. So if you need any help with that, certainly let me know. I'd be more than happy to help you with that. I know you're going to get ready for your Get Lean class now. So thanks for talking to us today. I really appreciate it. I really enjoy the fact that we've been able to help you. And I always say that we don't take that lightly, because you put your life and your health in our hands. And that's something we don't take lightly around here. So next week, look for us again on Tuesday at 3:30. I'm going to discuss, I believe, the keys to exercising over 40 and getting results. I think there's some very specific keys that people don't think about and are myths about training and coaching over 40. So it should be interesting. So if you're looking for more information on that, stop by or watch us next week at 3:30. Where we'll give you some insight on how to get fit, feel younger, and live better. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.